Hey guys, it's Erica at Maximum Achievement Coaching. This is my first Facebook Live video of 2018. And this is a green growing edge for me. I am not very comfortable on camera, and so I am pushing myself outside of my comfort zone in the interest of growth, which seems to be the theme for many people this year, which I absolutely love to see. If we're not growing, we're dying. I honestly believe that. So I was thinking about something earlier today. I went for a swim, and swimming gives you a lot of time to kind of reflect because you're kind of just looking down at the bottom of the pool. And I was starting to entertain some questions. And then I started to remember, and some of you may have heard me talk about this if you've seen me live in any of my seminars, but you know, there's a saying that the quality of our lives is really determined by the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. And so I was kind of thinking about that when I was swimming, and most of us are trained to ask very small or weak questions. And so I have a question for you to entertain that's a larger, more expansive question. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about what I mean by small or weak questions. So when I say small or weak questions, these are questions like, how can I get to the end of the month and pay my bills this month? Or how can I figure out how I'm going to, get everything done today? And so these are things that we hear all the time in like common, conversations with people and at the workplace and even at the stores sometimes. You can just hear them everywhere. And so one of the things that I've really started to do myself, and I've thought that this has been a really great exercise for me and causes me to grow, is starting to ask some larger questions. So an example of a larger question would be something like, how can I travel to the south of France for 2 weeks and make $20,000 while I'm doing it? And I give that example a lot because that question to me gives me a lot of energy and life. And so usually a larger, more expansive question is something you're not quite sure how you're going to make happen yet, but it kind of allows you to dream. And so I have a question for you guys today, and that is, what would you love? So when I ask that question, it's easy to kind of go to, what do I think is possible? And that's actually a totally different question. And if you stay with the question, what would I love? You can start to think about that from a number of different angles. It could be something that you would like to create in your life that you haven't yet created. Maybe a certain level of health, or a certain fitness goal, or it could also be, something like turning your passion into a career and making a wonderful living at that. Or even like searching, some of you may, be searching for the love of your life and want to create, that, but you don't know how. And so if you stay with the question, what would I love? And just allow yourself to dream, that opens up some possibilities. Now, our trained brain is going to go back to that, what do I think is possible? And so here's where the trick, to kind of keep that in check and say, no, not what do I think is possible, but what would I absolutely love? And so you try on possible futures and just kind of allow yourself to dream. And I'll tell you a little bit about that question, what do I think is possible? When you pose that question to yourself, you automatically limit the possibilities that are available to you. And so, one of the things that I always say too is, if you think something's impossible, that actually becomes the limit of your possibility. And I really like that. And it's kind of a brain training thing to kind of push ourselves out of what we're used to in terms of our thought process, and also what we are willing to put ourselves out there to create. So what if I could? What would I love? And just really dream into that, breathe into that, try on, anything that would make you come alive. If it's expansive and if it has like a energy to it, you might be onto something. And I just wanted to share that because the expansive questions this year are kind of a big theme for me. I'm shooting big. I have a lot of things that I want to create this year, and I'm really excited for 2018 to kind of continue to push myself out of my comfort zone. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. For most of you who know me, you know that for the better part of my professional career, I've been a therapist, so I'm pretty used to listening. And so just talking for 5 straight minutes is something that I'm not normally accustomed to doing unless I'm doing some sort of a speaking engagement or something like that. But anyways, so I want to leave you with that question. What would I love? And really just start to entertain that. What would you love for your health? What would you love for your career? What would you love for your relationships? What would you love for how you spend your time? What would you love for your income? And just really start to allow yourself to dream here. And then I'll come back in another video, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to this, so I'm going to say it's going to be next week, to tell you a little bit more about next steps after you've come up with the answer to what would you love. So if you like this video, hit the like button, and I would love to hear from you guys what you would love. So if you want to give me some feedback and say, you know, post those in the comments, that's awesome. You're also free to message me, private message me too. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. So thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of this fabulous week, and allowing yourself to dream with limitless possibilities. What would you love, and what if you could? Bye.